into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, hey, hey.
I'm so dangerous.
Okay, I can't lie, this song's pretty hot. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Empire After Show. This is Season 1, Episode 4, False Imposition. We are so excited to be here. Make sure you check us out on youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV and click that subscribe button. If you are watching us live on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and click that like button, and also check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. Once again, we are here. So excited to be here. I am your host, Emile Ennis Jr., and I'm joined with two lovely ladies. We have a special guest coming a little later, but we're going to start with
Erica J. Green.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. This song was hot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into this. I thought this episode was great. We're going to start with Lucious. Lucious, you know, he's been struggling with this illness. Yeah. And we had this moment where he was doing the struggle shave.
I was like, can he help him out? I thought she was just going to stand there and watch him.
But I mean, it was a good moment. It needs to happen. And, you know, everybody needs that help at some point. I was thinking, I don't know if you guys thought about this, just random. Did they shoot this before the whole ALS ice bucket movement? Like, when they were creating this story, did they know the ALS was going to be?
Well, they probably
did. It was after.
Yeah, because they do incorporate a lot of like things that are going on right now in the news. So yeah, probably was after.
Yeah,
I just wondered because I remember, I think it was back in February or even January we started seeing like casting news of last year. And I know ALS Ice Bucket came after. Anyway, so Boo Boo Kitty, she's having these issues trying to get her voice heard. And we saw like at the beginning of the episode, even before he told her about the ALS, we saw that she's struggling to have her voice heard. Yeah. And then finally he tells her about this ALS and he's like, you know, this is the reason why I've been pushing you so hard. So
is he trying to make her like the head or like trying to condition her to kind of be like a more prevalent part of the empire? I wasn't quite sure because I see her doing her part, but I'm not, you know, she doesn't do a lot to me.
I think the way Tiana described her, it was perfect. She said she's a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when Lucious talks to her, he's an artist. He came up differently from her. So it seems like he's trying to groom her or at least give her a little bit of street smarts that she needs. However, I don't think he's grooming her to take over. He's just making sure that she knows I'm not going to be here. Yeah. So when I'm gone, they're going to run over you or people aren't going to treat you the same. So I think he's trying to get her used to that. By the way, Sophia, I'm not taking Sophia's place. She couldn't make it today. I don't want no backlash on the net. She will be back, guys.
I was really surprised that he even told Kitty that he had ALS. Of everyone to trust, I would have thought that would have been the last person he would have went to and told such a serious thing that he was dying.
Well, you know, I've been questioning whether or not Boo Boo Kitty, Anika, really loves him because, you know, in this situation, you don't know if she's really after his money or she actually has genuine feelings for him. But in that moment, I know she's acting, but in that moment, she started crying instantly as soon as she said, you know, I have ALS. It's going to be about 3 years. And so I think I'm really interested to see how this relationship progresses because I think there's going to be a lot more to Boo Boo Kitty Anika that maybe she is going to say, okay, well, I don't think any of your sons deserve this. I want the empire now that she knows the situation.
I think she does love him. I think that conversation, like you said, Emile, will come up where she wants to possibly take control. I just think that the love that she has for him doesn't equal the love that Cookie has for Lucious. So for us, it seems jaded or it's not good enough. So, because if Cookie weren't there, we'd be like, oh, she's perfect, she's great, she's standing by him. But because we know what love in his life could look like,
right?
we're just dismissing her. So I
Right.
think she is genuine and true. But like you said, I do think she is going to come up where she says, hey, what about me?
Well, do you think, because as we go on later in this episode, we have this Titan character that we're introduced to, who, by the way, Beans, Titan is the guy who worked on V's song, V Bozeman from last week, What Is Love.
yeah, nice.
Anyway,
Mind
nice
you,
little
I thought
plug.
it was Music Soul Child when he first came on. You know, he got their alter ego, the
anything
hustle.
alike.
I was like, is that the hustle? I did. He had the thing on.
And I think I saw your tweet. I was like, Kennelia.
I could have swore it was the hustle.
Music Soul Child.
I was like,
Really?
that music?
But Titan is supposed to be like this hard character who's about them streets. He's about that life, as Cookie says, and he really knows what's up. And Hakeem idolizes him, and Empire wants him, but Titan ends up shooting backstage, and then now he's locked up. And so with Titan, this character, do you think that because Boo Boo Kitty now knows that Lucious has ALS, that's the reason why she's trying to step up? Not only does she have Cookie that she's trying to like outdo, but do you think that now she knows that she's like, oh, let me show you what I can do?
Well, I found it interesting. Like every scene, every episode, they show more and more of the chemistry that Cookie and Lucious have, and it's starting to see. You know, Lucious is really softening towards Cookie. Like in the beginning, he was a little bit more stern with her, get out, Cookie, this and that. Now you can see just the chemistry. I love every scene they have together, but you can see that there's a concrete difference between the chemistry he has with Kitty, and so I think she's just trying to step it up so she doesn't get replaced. You know, as the woman of the household and as a business person.
I also think it's pride. As the head of A&R, you're going to need to talk to these people.
Right.
Whoever it is, you're going to need to figure out a way to get in contact with them. The fact that she knows in the back of her mind that Cookie just got out of prison, she can go to the hood and talk to some hood dudes. She wants to prove that she can do it. And to her, when you've never been in the hood or you don't grow up in the hood, you be like, oh, I'll go to the hood. You think that you could just sit down
right.
and go to the hood. That's when it was a drive-by. She was like, and didn't even get down.
It's street smart.
Girl, get down.
Yeah, it's the difference between being book smart and street smart.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I think it was just being naive in her mind, like, okay, I'll go. Because even when she was talking to the guy, she said, you know, I'm the head of A&R at this company. He don't care. Like, he don't
And
care.
that's funny you say that, because it's funny you say that, Kennelia, because it reminds me of that scene where, and I said this maybe last week or the week before, stay in your lane. And I say it because it's that scene that she had with the songwriters, and she could speak their language or whatever, and she outdid Cookie or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And that was in her lane. Like, she can do that type of stuff. But don't go to the hood thinking that you can just blend in and be fine. And they say get down, and you're like,
She's great.
like,
It's a drive-by.
exactly. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I like to see the different approach that everybody had to get in Titan, or trying to get in Titan. But we had this interesting dynamic between Andre and his father too, because Andre was saying, you know, this is a bad PR move since we're trying to make the company public, and they were talking about that. But we also have this issue with the bunkie that he shot, but the detective is on to him.
Yeah.
And the detective comes into the office, and we have this flashback scene with Andre and his father, which I thought was really cute.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good scene, and it kind of. I mean, now I look at Andre a little differently, because before I thought he was just a simp. You know, I thought he was a simp, but he does understand what's going on and what kind of life they've lived, and which makes sense because he was a kid big enough to understand.
Yeah.
Hakeem on the other end, we'll talk about him later, but he's still just living in a bubble.
Yeah.
My only thing is, so now you lie for your father. You don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, does he know? I wasn't quite clear. Does he actually know that his father killed Bunky, or is he just
I
trying
don't
to
think he has a clue.
you know, something's going on with his dad?
He's just trying to be ride or die for dad. Like, sure, he was with me, but now you put yourself in a bubble. So now if something goes down, both of y'all are in the right. You're an accessory. Both of y'all are in the same predicament.
Which makes me think, like, I understand it's his father, but if Andre's really down for that empire, if his father was to go down, I'm just saying that would help him out get that empire.
You know what's confusing me? Lucious is going so many different ways on who he wants to take over the empire. One minute it's like, Andre, you're the one, you know, just keep doing this and doing that. And then it's Hakeem, you need to step up because you could be the one. And so it's like he's throwing it all different type of ways. I know he's trying to make them go against each other. You know, now you have Jamal who's like, I'm going to take it. That's what it is. I know he didn't have a huge part in this episode, but Jamal, I'm so team Jamal right now because he's going to come up as fierce competition. He's amazingly talented.
I think, honestly, I don't think it's necessarily he's like putting or going in so many different directions. I really don't think Lucious knows what to do right now. Like, to be diagnosed with a deadly disease and realize you have 3 years to live. Like, I get what you're saying, though. But I think, like, in his mind, he's just like, I just want everybody to step the hell up.
I don't think he's going to leave it to any of them. Depending on how this Titan storyline goes, I think Lucious is the type of dude. He's the type of dude. The fact that he left his wife in prison after she took the fall for his family, had all that, she gave you all this drug money, $400,000 in drug money. You just don't get that. Cookie was on the corner selling rocks.
And back in those days, $400,000 is
That's
like
a lot.
million.
She was on the corner with a North Face on.
With the North Face.
Hand in hand with crackheads. That's how it was. It's gritty. Like, selling dope ain't like American Gangster or Scarface.
Yeah.
She was selling dope. He left her there. So Lucious, to me, seems like the type of dude that will have them doing all this, working their ass off, and then will give it to somebody else not even related to the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Titan, you want here's an empire. He seems like that kind of dude. What dude will leave his wife in jail, not even come visit her? A type of dude who will have his family all working hard, competing for nothing.
And it's crazy because I see how Cookie is dealing with this so well. She's like been so forgiving of the family, just leaving her behind. I'm like, wow, it's really showing her character. Yeah, I'm like, I want to really know more about why she's playing it like that, like why she's so kind of like over it. I know it's her family, and to a certain extent, you can only be mad at your family for so long, but she's just playing it really like, okay, I love y'all.
I have a couple of theories.
30 years though.
I have a couple of theories.
It was 17. She was in jail for 17 years.
But they didn't come. They stopped visiting her, and she was in for a while. Yeah, I was like, that's crazy.
We'll talk about it. My question is, do you guys think that Lucious should actually be threatened by Beretti? Because remember, at the end of their conversation in the club, which he was having a good old time, but at the end of the conversation in the club, remember, Beretti said, I suggest you don't go public because I will take this company down. And he said, I think we should name this Cookie. So does he know? He must know that Cookie is the one who started the company with the drug money.
Beretti knows a lot.
Beretti must know. If he was around to put, around Lucious' start, he has to know. My thing is, realistically, if a company is started with that much drug money, why is this still a secret?
Right.
Didn't our Murder Inc. get taken down because it got started with drug money? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
How, nobody knows this. He didn't rap about it one time. Nobody knows, because even when Cookie was like, I'm going to tell everybody that this was started with my drug money, and he was like, don't tell. So nobody knew.
Yeah, because Puma knew, obviously. Like, everybody has, like, especially, I said this one time, like, if they were truly in the hood, people know.
Yeah.
Like, people know. Where do you think they got the money from? People know.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
So somebody, as soon as he blew up, why didn't somebody just say, hey, you know, he started that money with drugs? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody had to have said something. But at the same time, if he blew up so fast, these people who are still there, are you going to believe them?
But I get for the sake. I get it.
There's a lot of stuff that
I get it.
fully came together.
But
yeah.
When he keeps like trying to hide this whole drug money thing, my whole thing is they still don't know.
Yeah.
People, this still is a secret. Wow.
But I would wonder why.
Amazing.
But my thing is too, like, if you knew you had that much to cover up, that's something I would feel like would be so prevalent that I wouldn't want anyone to know about. Why would I even want to go public and risk a chance that I could lose everything just to go public?
About that money. Greed.
And Lucious, he seems like the type of man who, he's very prideful. Once he has his mind set on something or his eyes set on something, that's what he wants, and he doesn't let things get in the way. He's headstrong, and to be in that position, you have to be. Lucious is just trying to do too much, I think. He wants to be a goon. He wants to play security, a mentor.
Why are you killing people? Why don't you have someone killing them?
You murderer.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like, he already has a drug money to hide. Now he done killed somebody. Like,
ex-husband.
You got millions.
Producer, rapper. Like, he needs to make up his mind.
Bye, Lucious. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. What do you guys think about the dynamic between Boo Boo Kitty and Cookie, though? Because it's starting to become comical. Like, I'm starting to think they actually like each other to the point where it's not like they're tolerating each other. Like, I feel like they're actually starting to like each other, or at least respect each other a little more, or respect maybe on Cookie's side, or maybe Cookie's just realizing that she can just say whatever she wants. Because I like the scene where Anika was just like, I can't deal with you right now. I can't deal with this. After she found out he had ALS, she's trying to lead a meeting. And then
she let her stay.
Yeah, Lucious comes in, Miss Calhoun. And then she says, okay, girl, I'll take over.
And she kind of stepped to the side and let her. So I was like, okay, I see what's going on now. She's slowly receding.
It's kind of just one of those things, like, they're starting to just accept each other and just realize that neither one of them were going anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
And they could learn from each other.
Right.
The sad thing is they can't. Lucious is the problem, even though he shouldn't be.
right.
But Cookie could learn from her. Cookie's been in jail. She don't know who's who, and she don't have the connections that Boo Boo Kitty. Why do we keep calling her? That Boo Boo Kitty.
It's so much fun. It's so much more fun than Anika.
It's amazing. She don't have the Boo Boo Kitty connections, and Boo Boo Kitty doesn't have the instincts that Cookie has. So they could work together.
But I think we see that, like in the scene where they're all at the house and Lucious is sitting with Kitty, and the girl, what's her name? Tiana starts talking about how Cookie has taken over, and she was kind of like, okay, she didn't put up a really big resistance. She was like, she's doing her thing with my song, she's protecting the music, she's making her a star, like she said she was. So I think Kitty's kind of falling back. She's seeing that Cookie can be useful.
Let's
so I think
talk
we're
about
gonna
this.
slowly see that.
Let's talk about Hakeem, because this this was just amazing. So first of all, we have to talk about the fact when I was about to say Boo Boo Kitty again. Cookie walks into the office and she's saying, basically demanding, I need a bigger office, I need this and that. But I think the funniest scene for me this episode, when she was like, and I need full benefits for my assistant. And then Becky's like, listen, I can't do nothing for her because she gave me a dead person social security number.
I don't do taxes.
Right?
What do you mean?
Can we get Portia in here? You are hilarious.
I don't do taxes. A dead person social.
But then it got even funnier because when she's setting up her office and stuff, and then Tiana walks in, she's like, I own half this company. Tiana's like looking around the office and she's like, this is temporary. Like,
because they playing Kitty. What did Kitty do that was so mean to be put in the raggedy office?
Cookie,
you would think that Cookie smashed 4 dudes before she went in jail.
Exactly.
And
is there something we don't know?
It has to be.
He could just be trying to cover his feelings for Cookie. I mean, when they're together, he's all flirty with her, and then whenever Anika, Boo Boo Kitty, comes around, then he's trying to act all hard. Oh, yeah, check her, put her in her spot.
I see that, because, again, when you get certain people, when they get to a certain level of success, they want to act like they not hood no more. You know what I mean? So you can't, if you feel like you that type of man, you don't want to be with the hood chick. You want to get the chick that, that's a little because you made it. You want to get your made it chick.
Because would you want to go to parties with Cookie, or would you want to go with Anika, the debutante?
So maybe that's why he's treating Cookie like dirt. But she's better than me, because I don't understand how she's still eating.
I would rather have Cookie than Anika. But anyway, we'll get to that. So anyway, this Hakeem situation, the way it all played out, she basically says, I want you to manage me, like you said earlier, Kennelia, because Boo Boo Kitty is a suit. But I loved Cookie's face when she was listening to the music, because first she was listening to music, like, okay. But then she looked over at Tiana for a little bit. She's like, I'm gonna make some money off her. And then she got back to the music. I just really like that Cookie is finding a place in this company.
Yeah.
Because Jamal's one thing, I believe Jamal's going to be great, but the fact that she could steal a client from his his girlfriend, the fact she can do that, soon enough, but the fact he can do that, that just shows a lot, okay, Cookie's not going anywhere, she's not playing, you need to start respecting her. But I think it was when she told, in the meeting, why am I messing up names? Boo Boo Kitty, that she's taking Tiana away from her. Tiana, I'm like, are you that naive to think that she wouldn't be offended by that? She's like, I didn't think you would mind. Bitch, what?
Green.
But Tiana's interesting. You see that after she finds out that Hakeem is cheating on her. Tiana's an interesting character. She's kind of a little grown for her age. She was like, I don't care. As long as we're making that money and you're doing what you need to be doing so I can continue to get my money.
In Tiana's defense, usually you would assume that everybody on the label is down for the artist.
Right.
I don't know if she's been around the back and forth banter, because I don't remember if Tiana has seen those two go at it. But it's like, oh, so same company, she's just gonna help me now. Cool. So maybe Tiana
I can get
thinking one label, one family type of thing. Yeah. Maybe.
Well, everybody seems like they know of Kitty. Of Cookie. They know of her. They know of her reputation. They know what she did for Lucious. They know of her talent. So everyone sees this already in Cookie. I think that's what Tiana's like, okay, I'm trying to get a little piece of that. Like she said to Lucious, she was like, look what she did for your career. So why wouldn't I go with her? Look what you have.
That scene was funny because right before Anika tells her that she's going to get them on the Teen Choice Awards, and then right after after she texts Cookie to make sure it's okay. And she's like,
Is that cool?
Right? She's like, I'm not going to let Cookie ruin this, everything that I've created, blah, blah, blah. And she basically said, no, she said she's going to protect my music, but she's also, what she say, protect my music and what?
I wrote it down.
Protect my music and make me a star.
Yeah,
but when she said that, remember, Cookie, Boo Boo Kitty started chuckling, and then she said, and like she's doing for Jamal, she's still chuckling, and then she said, and like she did for you years ago.
Yeah, that's
She was like,
Womp womp. Like, you can't say nothing.
sit down.
But the scene with Tiana and Cookie in their home having dinner, I thought that was real cool.
was
She had
cute.
she didn't have her hair done or anything. Like, she just had just chill. She's like, I always wanted a daughter. Oh, you were raised right. Like, I like to see that side of her.
Yeah, it was nice.
And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are gravitated towards this show and towards Cookie in particular, is because you feel a connection with her.
Yeah, definitely.
You really feel like you can just chill with Cookie, and people love characters like that.
Yeah.
But we need to get to the juice, because when Tiana walked into the apartment and saw Camilla and Hakeem together,
was cool about it.
First of all, even Camilla said, why did you give her a key? Why would you give, if this is your side piece, if Camilla's your main, why would you give her a key to your apartment and then bring Camilla to your apartment in the hot tub as if Tiana's not going to come after you skip dinner when you're supposed to be there?
He's a kid.
Hakeem is all over. How old is he?
He's a
supposed
kid.
To be playing?
He has to be, if Cookie spent 17 years in jail and Hakeem really doesn't remember her, maybe he was he's about 21. He can't be older than 24.
He's acting way younger than that.
So
Some of these
to
antics.
him, it's just, you know how young dudes do. They get a little money, chicks start liking them. They just doing everything, text in the middle of the night. He's that typical kid who just came up, and he's like a naive little millennial. You know what I mean? He doesn't understand the sacrifices his mom made.
No.
He has the severe mommy issues.
Severe.
This
mama.
kid
Which I don't
needs
even
therapy.
get. What is he harboring so much against her?
He didn't
for?
have a mommy.
I think get over it. You have money.
He sounds like
Oh, he got money.
he sounds like he hasn't grown up enough
At
to
all.
put it together that she didn't leave you. She was taken away for the sacrifices for the family. It ain't about you. Nobody has had the "it ain't about you" conversation.
So do you
with
think
him.
though? Do you think though this is a conversation that Lucious never had with him? Because it almost feels like Lucius he wasn't there as a father. Did Bunky not explain? Did nobody explain when he got older? Listen, your mom's in jail. It's not her fault.
They probably
He's a
explained
yeah.
it, but they probably was just like they probably told him what happened, but no, Lucius.
All the other brothers know, so I don't see why
It
he
seemed
wouldn't be
like
in the know.
Lucius never had this real talk conversation with him. Like, dude, get over it. Because if Lucius was treating Cookie like dirt, why wouldn't Hakeem think this way? Lucius wasn't even visiting her. So if your daddy not visiting his
True.
wife and daddy not visiting mommy,
Preach.
I'm not gonna visit her either, and I ain't
Yeah.
gonna care. So Lucius,
He doesn't see anything
That's
wrong.
Yeah, he don't see nothing wrong. That's his fault. That's Lucius's fault.
But I'm still so confused what his relationship with Camilla is really. Is that his serious piece, like you said?
I think that's a serious
You
piece.
remember that weird
I think that's his
scene
way.
though? The weird scene when she was like, "What do you call me?" He was like,
Mommy.
"Mom." I was
That's
like,
their
therapy.
foreplay though.
But
That's you, my mama. That's their foreplay, and then they
weird. I
got to
don't-
it. Here's the
yeah.
thing.
And
Here's the
she
thing.
needs therapy too, because
Of course.
I'm giving you the side eye of your character, not you. I love you, girl. Get out of that tub with that little boy.
Wait though. But
Your
Camilla,
little chest.
Camilla, this fashion designer who may be on the way out, she trying to get that empire too.
No,
I keep saying
I could see that.
she is trying. She sees he's on the come up. This little young
She
kid.
keeps saying it.
Yeah, she's like, you will inherit the kingdom.
She told him to read 48 Laws of Power. I'm like, he's not reading, man.
Thank
He's
you.
not reading.
Come on
anything.
now.
He want to go to Titan because hustle
He's
hard.
like, it's gonna be some thoughts there. He's just trying to go out and hang in the club.
Yeah.
That's gross though. Every time I see her together, every day, girl.
Isn't it awkward to watch?
that
really
little
weird.
body, and he's a boy.
Yeah, it's awkward
And
to
when they're
watch.
kissing, I'm like, oh.
I mean, but I will say for Bryce Shear Gray, who plays this character as his first acting role to get to kiss Naomi Campbell.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
his first
he's
act?
bragging.
Oh, he's doing good.
But he's a rapper,
Do
though.
you play it?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so that's definitely interesting. But I want to get back to Tiana and Hakeem. And the reason why is because at first I was like, why didn't Tiana go off? Why didn't she do all this and like say? But she just walked out. She didn't do absolutely anything, which I don't know if I would have been
love
able to
that.
contain my composure in that scene. But what I love about her is she's about that business.
Yes.
So then the whole thing comes into play. Is Tiana the one who's actually playing him? Because think about it. When they met, She wasn't having. She's like, I'm bigger than you. Okay, you're the son of the owner, but I'm bigger than you already. Like, people know who I am. You're still trying to establish yourself as an artist. I'm already established. I'm Tiana. Okay. So she's like saying this. But then after she sees him perform, sees he's on the come up, then she sleeps with him. She dropped her panties. Which, if you, what did you say? I think you say this all the time, Kennelia. How you started, or
how you meet them is how they leave you.
Exactly. So she opened those legs, and it wasn't anything like serious. Like, they never, unless they have a conversation, we don't know, but they never said like, we're going to be exclusive. They said we're going to like play this part for the media, but they never said, oh, you're going to be my main, you're my only. They never said any of that. So because of that, her seeing this is kind of just like, okay, I think she's thinking like in the back of her mind, okay, we could have had something serious, but I don't care. Just stay doing your part. I'm going to do my part, and let's keep this going. And then eventually we'll dissolve after we get what we need from the relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you
I think that too.
If you don't live in Hollywood, you know
Drake.
that.
Yeah, I think it's a Rihanna Drake.
Yeah.
Rihanna was like, all right, Drake, I'll fool with you. And then she just stopped talking to him.
People do it all the time in Hollywood.
I think it was just like
they do exactly what they need to do to get that come up. Not saying everybody does that, and everybody are real relationships out here. But there are, unfortunately, too many people who do create those relationships. But it's not even unfortunate, because a lot of times it's both parties saying...
benefiting.
Yeah, they're both benefiting from it. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Later on in the episode, though, we see Cookie and Lucious watching the playback together. And... I was happy to see them together, and I was happy to see a dynamic, though. But before that, I think we had a conversation between Cookie and Lucious, and a conversation that needed to be had, where Cookie basically says a little bit in the conversation, like, first she talks about Titan, how she went to the mom's house, she did her part, and, you know, Boo Boo Kitty should have never gone. But then she starts talking about how you never called, you didn't send me a letter, you didn't do any of this, you just left me stranded, like, wondering what's going on. Can you imagine being in jail for 17 years, and your dude just stops?
Can't imagine.
Like
your husband,
your
like baby daddy,
who you invested all this time in, like you went down for, and he doesn't even like contact you. So all this time, I don't know if this was my first like realization of the severity of this. I was thinking like maybe he like said something to her and then she's just still hurt by it. But the fact that he never even was man enough to come to her and say, you know, I still love you, but I can't wait for you for it. Because remember, she was supposed to be in there longer. I can't wait for you all this time. Like, can I just please have some type of release from you? Know that I will always love you, but I cannot wait for you. But he never gave her that, never gave her that type of closure. So of course she's gonna come out like, what the hell? And for him to say, you know, I did this so I could build this for you. She's like, this material shit? Like,
oh yeah, I love that. She was like, oh, thanks, but you know, what is that?
Doing for me?
Yeah, like what is it? And it speaks to the type of person that Lucious is. I love Terrence Howard, but I don't like Lucious, man. I just don't like Lucious. And this is why I don't like Lucious. Lucious has this idea. Maybe Lucious was this real street gangster and this street dude. Maybe he was. But for you to have a wife who was selling dope and she took the fall, that already, she's bagging the drugs, that already makes you look like a little like a simp. One. Two, okay, yeah, maybe you wanted to, you know, leave her, but you don't. You just stop talking to her while she's in here hearing about your success, hearing about you blowing up. No explanation, nothing. Then when she gets out, you have an attitude like she did something for you. Lucious is that, he just seems like that kind of guy, and Cookie is a little too okay with it. Maybe she can't have, maybe she made peace with it.
That's what I was.
But I don't understand how she is even. Every time I see him, I would be like, no.
But do you think
I want half of it?
Do you think she's okay with it, or do you think she's just putting on this facade because like all this? I know Cookie is Cookie. I get that. But do you think that she's giving even more extra just to make him think she's better than she is? Because you saw that scene with Hakeem where she's like, I love you, like, you know, I still love you, don't you? He's like, no, like,
I can't. Oh my god!
But did you see, like, as soon as that happened, though, the tears start coming down because that's her baby. But I don't think that the feelings like really ever left for Lucious.
For some reason, I think it's an interesting dynamic between that whole situation with Lucious and Cookie, because I think they had an arrangement. How cool she is with it. And also, he repeated something like 3 times. Either he was like, I never forgot about you, or something like that. I still care about you. I can't remember the exact wording, but he repeated it 3 times during that conversation before she walked out the door. I was like, that's really interesting that he kept saying that. And she was like, okay. She was kind of was like, it wasn't like, oh, just like that. It was kind of like, yeah. And then they had the little verbiage, and she was like, run that by Kitty.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's always interesting how cool she is about it, that whole situation, because I would have been livid. Yeah. Coming out, you got all this. I wasn't saying anything, commentary. You know, I should have been living it up in the system. You know, but
she should have been wearing Jordans.
I think that they had an arrangement.
Jordans. Yeah. They be wearing Jordans.
Gel Jordans.
They always wear Jordans. I can't. You see these shows. Maybe my hope is that Cookie's smart. And she's strategic, and when she said you left me in there, you know, you don't know what it's like to be left somewhere for 17 years. My hope is that when Cookie was in there, she put a plan in place to say, in her mind, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna be strategic with Lucious, I'm gonna play it up like, yeah, I'm a little hurt, but whatever. And I think that Cookie is trying to gather everybody at the company and bring them to her side so she can break it up that way. Because why else would she feel like she want to talk to Titan? When she was talking about, when they were in the boardroom and she was saying how y'all need somebody real and y'all don't know what real is, blah, blah, blah. As soon as she said that, I'm thinking that's exactly what Cookie wants. Cookie wants Titan for herself. So she wants Titan. She has Tiana. Now she has Jamal.
You're right.
Anybody else? I think Cookie's trying to do it that way so she can hurt Lucious by doing that. But there's no way that I'm going to believe that Cookie is just this content with him leaving her like that. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't.
No, she's not. They show a little preview of the next episode, and after he gets engaged,
oh yeah,
her face is like
drinking that champagne.
No, he did not.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I definitely think it's going to be interesting, but we want to know what you think. Make sure you go to iTunes and rate us 5 stars, hopefully. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. And also go to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate you guys checking it out every week. And tweet us. We always tweet back, and we will continue the conversation online. What else do we have in this episode? Ooh, okay, Jamal. So Jamal.
He wasn't
he wasn't a huge part of the episode, but he's in his new place. We got to see his new digs now that he said, you know, I'm on my own. And
that large cockroach.
Yeah. Really? Jamal got roaches.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he do.
I mean,
it was as big as a thumb.
I say cockroach. We call them water bugs in Georgia. My family all said, you got cockroaches. They were like, that doesn't mean you got like water in the basement or moisture. But when you have like roaches, like the tiny ones, that mean your house dirty.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
That was one of those flying ones.
No, not the flying ones. No, Jamal cut the lights off and up them cabinets. They're gonna be like,
I can't. Coming out. They know they wrong for letting him stay in that type of environment.
And they making Bushwick look bad because he live in Bushwick. Now, Brooklyn is not the old Brooklyn. Bushwick got some nice places.
Yeah, my family was in Bushwick. Right. It is fine.
They stuck him, like, I'm like,
and people moving in, renovating Bushwick. Right. I mean, they're trying to get certain people out. We ain't gonna go there.
Going so hard.
It's going on. You trying to get my sister out her apartment. It's going on. I know what you're doing.
Stop.
But I'm like, dang, so now Bushwick, he went outside and it looked like a prison yard.
He got chains on the fence. Throwing beer bottles on the wall.
Should you be walking outside at nighttime like that?
They got Bushwick looking like a war zone. I was like, dang, so okay. But there was a cute scene. Jamal had the Michael Jackson, The Way You Make Me Feel video going on.
I loved it though.
Oh, cool.
It looked like
it was great. It was gonna come out and that lady was gonna walk out with that tight dress on. I was like, oh, okay.
You can keep your money. I was like, what? He just started singing out the middle. No, I was waiting for. Wait a minute. You know, I was waiting for that scene in Coming to America when when Eddie Murphy like says good morning or whatever, and they're like, shut the fuck up.
They're like, no.
I was waiting for them to say that. Like,
that's what it looked like.
He started singing like, shut the fuck up.
I'm trying to sleep over here.
McDonald's.
Yeah, he's singing in the middle of the night like people ain't trying to sleep.
I'm done.
Like, nah, like, shut up.
But that was a really cute creative process that they showed. I really like the way they set up.
All jokes aside.
Did he leave his clothes at the apartment? Did he leave? Because he had on like the old Champion jogging suit. I'm like, yo, is it the Champion joint?
I can't.
I'm joking.
Then Hakeem came over with his whole Bobby Brown every little step jacket. I'm like, yo, he walked through Brooklyn like this?
Oh my God.
I'm like, you too proud of me there.
He's a shiny joint.
I was thinking that though. Hakeem, like he's obviously on the come up like Jamal. Nobody knows who Jamal is right now. I mean, he's the son of Empire or of Lucious, so people know him, but he doesn't have the face like the recognition like Hakeem. So Hakeem just walking through the hood like he
Bobby
cool.
Brown.
And you know Hakeem,
get out of here.
Hakeem obviously is naive and he's not really up to par and where he should be going, he should not be up in the hood because he can get shot easily.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, and dressed like fresh to death. Give me them kicks.
Exactly. Like he's even trying to blend in.
A dookie rope necklace on. He's
trying to be funny, stepping on cockroaches and stuff.
What do you guys think about Cookie coming though? I feel, because at first I've been on the fence with this whole Cookie thing, but I feel like Cookie's finally like making the right statement. Like, get out of your funk. Like, I understand as an artist, you can't just turn it on. You need that inspiration. But find the inspiration. He's like sitting on the sofa. Michael's like, you want some pizza? He's just in his phone. My daddy don't love me. That's what it seems like. Like, okay, then if you want to get out of this funk, then create some music. Or this hate, or not hate, but this dislike that your father has for you, whatever it may be, use that towards your music. You don't have to say anything about the situation. But use those feelings to make great music, which he could do. And we've heard some of his music. It can be great.
Amazing, yeah.
So just turn that into something. And I feel now I love how Cookie can say, it's fine if you don't want to do this. I have other hot artists like Tiana. Like she's basically throwing in his face.
Yeah. So I don't want to be just sit at your little pity party. Yeah. Exactly. He needs to get up, get with the music, and show them what he can do instead of what is he doing now. Lucious is laughing at him every time he sees him.
Yeah, and like, what do you guys think about him returning the money to Lucious for the gig?
He should have kept that money. I would have kept the bread.
I understand the pride. I understand that, but I don't understand.
I'm not too prideful to take money.
It's too prideful, but he's like his father. He's like Lucious in that regard. He's very prideful. I'm not upset that he lives in the hood and does this. Now you have the real life of a real artist.
Yeah.
Right.
Guess what? That's what happens. That's how it is when you're an artist.
Oh, it's funny you say that, though. It's funny you say that because think about how Lucious got started. Yep. Lucious had Cookie by his side.
Exactly.
So he
in the hood.
So Jamal and Michael, they're gonna be the new Lucious and Cookie. Michael, you better watch out. Don't end up in prison, boy.
Okay.
What?
If Jamal turns out like Lucious, don't. Watch out.
Jamal is nothing like Lucious is what he's trying to prove. He is nothing like Lucious. That's why he gave the money back.
Was Lucious this way when he was younger?
Was Lucious sweet and
driven by money?
The life turned him. So maybe you never know.
He in them streets now.
Lucious, he is in them streets. He's in the prison yard. Like, where was he?
Y'all not gonna get off of that.
I cannot. All right, guys. This episode, I loved it, and I just love that this show continues to get better and better each week. But Kennelia is joining us today, and when Kennelia is here, we have to know who is your cold piece of the week. Go ahead and explain what the cold piece is for those who don't know.
So, cold piece of the week is an award that I give to one or two people for this episode. Either they did something extremely bad, extremely good. They're just cold. When you're a cold piece, like, girl, you cold, or it can be good or bad.
Okay.
For episode 4, Empire, season 1, I am giving cold piece of the week to the Lion family firstborn, the cub himself, Andre. Mainly because he redeemed himself from the last couple of weeks. Before, I thought he was a simp. He wasn't really doing his job. He had that weird wife and that whole kinky thing going on. He didn't close the blinds when he was sleeping with a girl in the office. He was just all over the place. However, he did step it up and he did take the fall for his dad and volunteer to lie for him, even though he didn't know what was really going on. The only thing is now he has to be prepared for what's going to happen because the backlash could be big because his dad killed somebody and he just covered for him.
Yeah. So
for that, I'm giving him cold piece of the week.
I love it. And make sure you let us know who your cold piece of the week is. Just do hashtag cold piece and at us. We'll give you our Twitter handles in a second. Now we're going to go into news and gossip.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
So, let me sip my tea to the haters. Empire has risen again. It was announced today that they rose again. The ratings, I think, was 11.3. But then I was reading an article that said they calculated the numbers for, I think, the first episode, and it ended up being, like, after the DVR and streaming and all that stuff, like 20-point-something million total.
Wow.
Like, this show is truly an empire. Like, it's crazy this show is doing so well for Fox. And I did, like, a tweet today asking why people think this is doing so well, and people say Cookie. People were saying like the show's written well. I just think, honestly, I think this show fills a void that there's no show on it like TV. Mm-hmm. So for many people, like this is something that we may have seen different parts of this show done in other shows, but we've never seen like a show like this on TV.
And I think the two stars have something to do with it because Taraji did an interview before and she was talking about in regards to movies that she's a box office draw, but Hollywood doesn't treat her that way.
Yeah.
She's a box office draw and she knows that. And Terrence Howard, he has a fan base.
And he's phenomenal.
We're going to follow Terrence Howard. So, and I started watching because I thought it was Hustle and Flow Part 2.
Right.
So that, I'm in.
It's a lot of factors, and it's like How to Get Away with Murder, Viola Davis coming from film to TV. Like, it's a lot of people. There are certain people who don't really watch a lot of TV, but they love watching film. So for them to see their favorite film stars on the TV in a different medium where they can watch them every single week.
Yeah. And the music.
And the music is great. Yeah. Timbaland's on. Like, there's so many talented artists, and the fact that each week they have different. I guess not each week, but we're gonna have so many different celebrity guests making these cameos.
Yeah. Denzel Washington's supposed to be on there.
I saw that on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter. If you follow Lee Daniels on Twitter, he like has his meetings and stuff. He's like taking pictures of people. He's like, oh, I'm trying to get Denzel on Empire. Yep. And then he tweeted today,
nice.
You need to get
Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle's going to be in the finale. He tweeted that today, and that's on Instagram. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this show, and I'm just so proud of our brothers and sisters out there who are on this show who were, I don't want to say no names, but there's a lot of people on this show who we really had no clue who they were, or we've only seen a couple of things, and the fact that they can get on a hit show that everybody's talking about, I mean, kudos to you.
Yes.
Kudos to you. So let's go into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
For me, I think it's gonna be interesting to see this whole what's gonna play or how it's gonna play out once Lucious and Cookie, Lucious and Boo Boo Kitty get engaged. Because if they do end up getting married, that's gonna get a whole lot of complications all up in that.
It sure is, legally and emotionally.
Yes, that's gonna be super complicated.
She's not getting half of mine,
right? Right. Cookie will expose it all to keep whatever she thinks she can have. And I also want to see how this whole Hakeem. I just need Hakeem to like man up and like Tiana said, you can do whatever you want to do behind the scenes with this little mama, but you need to respect your actual mother and just be about your business. He just needs to wrap it up. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think that Andre is going to try to use the whole murder. He's going to find out what went on because he is very well connected in the system, and he's going to use that to try to leverage trying to get Empire. I really think that's going to happen.
And I think that Cookie, like I said earlier, Cookie is trying to gather all of her clients and try to take over Empire that way.
I would agree. All right, guys. Unfortunately, it is over, but we are going to be here next week. Unfortunately, Bam couldn't join us today because he's stuck in traffic. We were hoping he could make it, but that was the special guest I was talking about earlier. But we miss you, Bam. And Sophia should be back next week as well. But we loved having you, Kennelia, and we hope to have you again soon. Let us know where we can find you guys on Twitter.
Erica J. Green on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
At Kennelia on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And for me, at Emile Ennis Jr. And on YouTube, Chasing LA. And also, make sure you check me out on Best in Socials, my new gig, bestin.social. It was so much fun, and the conversation isn't over. Like I said, make sure you tweet us, Facebook us, whatever you want to do. We'll comment on YouTube, all that stuff. And we want to continue the conversation because there's so much more to talk about.
So much in this episode.
Keep supporting the show. We love you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. No apologies.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.